A Wyakin warrior is a veteran within our program. It comes from a Native American word for a guardian that goes along the path and life of a warrior. It's meant to say that we'll be with them every step of the way. Even after they've left the program, we're with them. Here at the Wyakin Foundation, we provide personalized and active support to veterans going through school through guidance, professional networking, and mentorship. When people come into the program, transition looks different for every person. Some people come in and it might be a confidence issue. Some people come in and they might be depressed. And as they go through the program, they're connected, they're empowered, and they're given purpose.
My name is Irene Padilla, and I am a Wyakin warrior for the Wyakin Foundation. I was with the Army for 12 years. I was a diesel mechanic. Coming back home was difficult just because life is completely different. I don't think I would have finished school because I wasn't happy, and I felt like I would have just dropped out. Once I started getting to know other warriors, it was easier for me to talk to them, hear their stories. Being a warrior, I had a lot of support.
They have different life experiences. They have witnessed different things. It's hard to feel like you connect with other people when you've experienced some of that. It's important to know that you're not alone in your transition and that there are other people who have experienced that and can relate to that and are there for you and are part of this with you.
I don't need to drop out of school just because I'm unhappy. I just have to change my course, and I did. And my path now is culinary.
There's a high rate of veterans who try to go to school who drop out. Wyakin's average of graduations is twice that of the national average. It's close to 95% of veterans who go through our program are going to graduate. It's not about one size fits all. It's about providing a program that's personalized to each person's need so that they can succeed however they need to succeed.
It's more of a mutual understanding of what we all been through, of what we've experienced. It's a place where we can be ourselves. It's like a family, and they're there to support you. And I wouldn't be on this path without them.
Welcome to the 10th Annual Guardian Ball for the Wyakin Foundation. I'd like to welcome everybody tuning in to our live event and for those joining us here in the in-person event. So to begin with, the auction has been going strong since October 1st and will continue until 5:30 p.m. October 10th. So to get onto the auction and look at all the different items, you can get online to guardianball10.afrogs.org. Now, if you have any technical issues with the auction items while you're trying to bid and keep bidding, call our helpline at 208-807-3808. Now, the purpose of tonight's event is to learn about a little bit about the Wyakin Foundation, what we do, meet some of the people behind it, some of our leadership, and a couple of the warriors, and to raise funds to continue with our mission in aiding veterans in the community. But first, before we get started, I'd like to take a moment and give a thanks to our sponsors. So we have our event sponsor, who is Citibank. We have our warrior sponsor, Colonel Dwayne and Jan Hardesty. We have a friend of a warrior sponsors, Boeing, Select Health St. Luke's, and Alexander and Casey Crown. Now our supporting sponsors are Perkins Coy, Idaho Central Credit Union, Western Trailers, and Edward Jones. Now I'd also like to thank all of our in-kind sponsors who provided many of the wonderful auction items we are offering to you tonight. So they are Positive Pets, Benjamin Victor, Sun Valley Resort, PureView Drone Imagery, Bogus Basin, Grant's Neighborhood Grill, Payette Brewing, Goody Soda Fountain, Twisted District, Bespoke Custom Clothing, Zenergy Health Club and Spa, Carmel Aviation, Boise Zoo, Terry's Cafe, Cryptech, Jay's Car Wash, Cycle Bar, Limelight Hotel Ketchum, Roaring Springs, 4D Blades, the Idaho Botanical Gardens, Hayden Beverage, Flicks, I Love Kickboxing, and the Trip Experiences Providing Fi and Fund. Now our goal tonight is to raise $100,000, and of that, $10,000 is for the Friend of a Warrior Fund. Now there's another way you can also donate while we're on tonight, is to text Wyakin, W-Y-A-K-I-N, to 888-403-4599, and that'll provide you with a link so you can donate directly over text. Now that the housekeeping items are in order, what we're going to do to start the program is we're going to go to a video of one of our Wyakin warriors, Ben Adams, performing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Awesome. So that was Ben Adams, a Wyakin warrior. And I'd like to move on now, and I'm going to read a letter that was written by Colonel Dwayne Hardesty and his wife, Jan, who have been longtime big supporters of the Wyakin Foundation. Jan and I send congratulations and best wishes on the 10th anniversary of America's premier warrior education mentoring program, the Wyakin Foundation. Our salute to all those great warriors who have been privileged to be part of the Wyakin experience, and thank you for serving our nation. Congratulations to an incredibly gifted staff, great mentor volunteers, the board of directors, supporters, and friends of Wyakin. And of course, to two marvelous people who listened to the late Admiral Clemens and the Lord in developing the concept for Wyakin. Thank you, Jeff and Rebecca Bacon. Congratulations and well done. A very special thanks to all of Jeff's cartoon buddies who have made so many of the Wyakin Guardian Balls so special. Jan and I count it a very special privilege to be associated with the Wyakin Foundation. It truly is the finest in the nation. Lord bless Dwayne and Jan Hardesty, Colonel, U.S. Army retired.
From everyone at HDA Truck Pride, congratulations to the Wyakin Foundation on your 10-year anniversary. What a tremendous milestone for such an exceptional organization. The impact that Wyakin has had upon our members, our industry, and most importantly, our country's veterans is exceptional. Everyone at HDA Truck Pride is so proud to support Wyakin and your mission. Enjoy your anniversary, and we look forward to working with you and supporting your cause for such essential work. Congratulations.
Special thanks to HDA Truck Pride. They've been great supporters and mission partners with us for many years. So next I want to move into is I want to look at an item number 14 on the auction bid items, the Wyakin statue by world-renowned artist Benjamin Victor. Now, on the website, you'll see the clay model of this year's current auction item, which is the sculpture. It is currently in the foundry phase right now, being bronzed or cast into bronze. So since that's not ready yet, we wanted to give people an idea of the amazing detail of some of these sculptures. So we actually have to present is last year's sculpture for the Wyakin Foundation that Benjamin did specifically for us. He's the only living artist to have 3 works of art in the nation's foremost collection, the National Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C. He has received numerous commissions from organizations, cities, and nonprofits across the United States and in Europe. But this custom piece of art could be yours, but you got to bid on item number 14. And remember, this is one of a kind, specifically made for the Wyakin Foundation. So get in there and bid on it and own an amazing piece of artwork. So now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce Rob Pangaro, who is going to give us a short invocation, and our chairman of the board and co-founder of the Wyakin Foundation, Jeff Bacon, who is going to start us off with his comments and speech.
Thank you. If you all wouldn't mind bowing your heads and closing your eyes. Let us pray, each according to our own beliefs. Let us offer thanks for our time here tonight as we celebrate 10 years of providing assistance and guidance to those that have so selflessly served this country. Let us all be a source of hope for those that are in need and contentment for those that feel alone. Let us be a beacon of light for those that feel lost. Let us give gratitude for the opportunity to be part of an organization that looks to build up our veterans beyond even what they believe themselves to be worthy of. Let us give thanks to the leaders of Wyakin, grant them the wisdom, vision, and most importantly, the grace to lead these warriors down the correct path while they move forward to achieving the goals that they have set for themselves. Let the forces of light bring illumination to the warriors in this group and the veterans worldwide. Let the spirit of peace be spread across this country and abroad during these times of uncertainty. May the men and women of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. And may forgiveness on the part of everyone be a keynote of this time. I pray that the warriors, as well as the rest of us, have the perseverance and above all confidence in themselves, knowing and believing they are gifted for something good. Father, we ask this all in your holy name. We all said, amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? I've been asked to give a few words about the history of the Wyakin Foundation. I'm one of the co-founders of Wyakin. My name is Jeff Bacon. Wyakin actually started back in 2010. February 4th, 2010 was when we originally incorporated the organization, and that's the same day as my daughter turned 2 years old. So to put this in context, she starts high school next year. So as she has grown, so has the Wyakin Foundation. Wyakin began in 2005, actually, because in 2005, the National Cartoonist Society, it's an organization of cartoonists, decided to partner with the USO to start going overseas, downrange, and visit military hospitals around the world to give back to the troops. It's called the Support the Troops Initiative. For the next 10 years, we visited virtually every single military hospital in the world. I was privileged to meet hundreds and hundreds of men and women who have served and sacrificed for their country. In 2009, I was having a cup of coffee with retired Admiral Archie Clemens, recently deceased. He's an icon in the Navy. He was an icon in the Treasure Valley as well. We're having a cup of coffee, and I asked him, how should we do these trips? And he said, oh, these are great trips. But he said, what else are you doing for the Warriors? And that one hit me really hard because I started thinking about it. I thought, he's right. We go in, we draw some cartoons, we make the troops feel like we appreciate what they've done for us and the service that they've given us. But then we walk out the door, and if somebody is severely wounded or injured, we leave them for the next 70 or 80 years to navigate their own lives. So after that, I went hiking with my wife, Rebecca, up in Moores Mountain. If anybody's familiar with that, in the Boise area, it's in the foothills right behind Bogus Basin. It's a beautiful 3-mile trek. And during that time, she asked me, she said, what do you think? What do you think the troops need? And I said, well, I think back to those hospitals, and I think about, what if I were in the shoes of that man or woman that's lost a limb or is suffering from an unknown injury like PTSD or a hidden injury like a traumatic brain injury. And you go back home to hometown America where people aren't used to seeing someone missing limbs or with third-degree burns on their face. What would I need to get through? They give you the GI Bill, but I wouldn't know what to do with it. So as we walked around the 3 miles, we started to say, okay, this is what I would need. I would need mentors. I would need somebody to help me get through school if I'm starting to stumble. I need some financial assistance. And I wouldn't want to just do this and be a one-and-done thing. I'd want somebody to stay with me so I could remain connected, and I want to change my purpose in life so I can feel my self-worth. So as we went around the mountain, we started the skeleton of Wyakin. Shortly after that, a couple days later, I had lunch with a very good friend of mine, Senator Marv Hagedorn, a retired warrant officer, and I was telling him about this, and I said, we're thinking about maybe starting up an organization for wounded and injured veterans. I got about that far, and Marv said, I'm in. And from that moment on, the Wyakin Foundation started to become something. We got a hold of 2 other people that I trust with my life, Andy Kraft, Steve Rutherford. I've served with them. I've known them for years. And the 5 of us became the founding board and started to put meat on the bones of that skeleton. And the 6 tenets that you saw on that list right there have remained the same ever since. Each of us had a piece of those. Each of us modeled those a little bit, changed them a little bit to make the foundation of what it is now. What we didn't know was how successful it's going to be. Something that I get asked a lot is, what is a Wyakin? Well, it actually starts in 2008, as we're just starting to get an idea, and we're starting to come up with a name. I read a story about an incident that happened in 2008. The Army lieutenant you see there is a guy named Brian Brennan. He was serving in Afghanistan, was hit with an IED, had both of his legs blown off. He had severe brain injury. He was in a coma and was unresponsive. So General Petraeus came to visit with him, and as he was talking with the family, no response. As he got to the door, he said, I was commanding officer of the 101st Airborne. This young man was in the 101st Airborne. So he turned around and he said, Currahee. That's the battle cry for the 101st Airborne. With that, the lieutenant sat up in his bed and came out of his coma. So the picture you saw there was not before the injury, it was after the injury. It's such an inspiring story, I thought, okay, we'll integrate Currahee into our name. I looked it up, it's a Cherokee term, and it stands for stands alone, which is exactly the opposite of what we wanted to do. So I went back and I thought, okay, we're from Idaho. Nez Perce tribe is one of the famous tribes in the country. So let's look in their religion, their tradition, their language, and that's where I found Wyakin. Wyakin is a guardian spirit. The tradition is that adolescents will be sent out into the woods with no tools or weapons. They'll stay there until they get a vision quest, and they decide, that vision will tell them what their Wyakin is going to be, their guardian spirit. The guardian spirit then stays with them for life. It protects them in battle. It advises them in their tough decisions in life. And I thought that is the perfect metaphor for what we want to be. So we became the Wyakin Warrior Foundation. We have a coin. The coin, this is our first coin that we had, and on there is a picture of an eagle that stands for the Wyakin, also stands for America. There's 3 words there, Kastissimus, Elise, and Mihi. Those stand for 3 parts of our code of conduct. Castissimus means I'm morally strong. Mihi stands for I have a responsibility to myself. Alis means I have a responsibility to others. That's sort of the core of what we were about. And then you see the silhouette of the mountain. That's Moore's Mountain. The current logo gives a tribute to those 3 code of conduct tenets. That's the 3 feathers you see, and they're pointing to the left or backwards to acknowledge the sacrifice and the challenges that our warriors have faced in the past up to this point. The eagle represents the Wyakin, of course, and it's facing forward to show the promise of the men and women in our program and to show that they're facing new challenges and new purpose in life. In August of 2011, we had our first 5 warriors inducted in the ceremony up at Simplot Hill. And there used to be a house up there. That was the executive mansion for the state of Idaho. It was a wonderful ceremony. Then Lieutenant Governor Little was our presiding official, now Governor Little. And we had several other dignitaries there, congressmen, city officials. It was a wonderful ceremony. They were called the Pathfinders because we didn't know if this program was going to be any good or not, if it was even going to work. Well, it worked. And over the years, the numbers have continued to grow. We've never had a year where we've had less warriors than the year before. We've always continued to grow. We have 43 warriors in the program right now. That's going to continue to grow, and our goal is to get to 60 next year, and then and beyond to expand in other places in the country, and I'll let our executive director talk about that. I'm going to give you sort of just one story of one warrior, and this is a typical story. A young man, a Marine, came to Boise State, was interested in going to school. As he was talking to the veterans representative, he also found out about the Wyakin Foundation. He joined Wyakin, became an active member, he got his degree, and part of our program is as you start to get closer to graduation, you're assigned what's called a professional mentor. It's somebody who is in the industry that you are seeking, you wanted to get into, somebody who's very high up, has a lot of influence. His professional mentor worked for Meritor, one of our big supporters in the heavy-duty aftermarket industry. This young man started there at Meritor in a training program for mid-level managers, did great, continued to work up through the organization, and then eventually got a job with SAF Holland, another one of our big supporters in the heavy-duty industry, and is continuing to climb the ladder as we speak. I fully expect him someday to be a CEO or be a leader in that industry, and I hope that becomes a model for what others can follow as we continue our partnership, our strong partnership with that industry and other industries. It's a typical story. He's taking care of his family and he's contributing back into the society. So it's been 10 years. It's been a heck of a journey. But I have to say our commitment has never changed. It's always a commitment to the men and women who've served and sacrificed for our country. It's a privilege to be associated with all of our volunteers, hundreds of volunteers. Our board members, we've had just a host of wonderful board members over the last 10 years. Our donors and sponsors who have been with us stalwart all the way through. Of course, the dedicated staff, it's just been a privilege to see them and how dedicated they are and the hours they put in. And mostly the men and women who call themselves Wyakin warriors and their families. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of that. So for you who have the ability to do this, we're asking for your support to let this program expand and be made available to more and more men and women who really need the help. Thank you very much.
This is Doug Dole, General Manager of Product Strategy at Meritor. At Meritor, we're a global supplier of drivetrain, mobility, braking, aftermarket, and electric powertrain solutions for commercial and industrial markets. As a mission partner, Meritor has been a supporter of the Wyakin Foundation for several years. Through our Shoes for Soldiers program, Meritor has contributed a portion of our remanufactured brake shoe sales, plus career mentoring, education, and job placement. We are proud to have provided a professional career opportunity to a veteran who successfully completed this program. Our contributions demonstrate our appreciation for all the sacrifices made by all of our veterans. The need among the wounded veterans is significant, and our support helps them transition successfully to civilian lives. We wish you the best this evening and hope the Guardian Ball is a huge success.
All right. Thank you, Meritor, longtime mission supporter. Met wonderful people in many events with them. So let's go to the leaderboard, do a little update. So we're looking at the Friend of the Warrior Fund at 16,250, 25. Bladesmithing is bid upon, which is a wonderful thing. Learn how to make knives. How can you go wrong with that? And let's see, family fun packs. Many of them have been sold, so people enjoying those in your homes watching us tonight. Hope you're having a good time. And now what we're going to do is I'd like to take a moment and do a spotlight for item number 3, which is a trip to Greece. It's one of 8 trips available for bid. It's good for 3 years with no blackout dates. You can extend your trip or add additional people to go with you. And remember, if you bid on this trip and you add people to it, that money also comes to Wyakin. So take as many friends as you can with you when you go to Greece. And it's transferable, so if you find you can't go in those 3 years, you can transfer it to someone else so they can enjoy the trip on your behalf. Now, what I'm going to do is we have from the producers of this trip, there's a short video we want to show so you can really see the details of it, much better than what I can articulate up here right now. And after we come back from that, we're going to hear from Corey Rodriguez, who is the executive director for the Wyakin Foundation, so he can speak to us all about the future of this Wyakin Foundation.
9-day Greece and Greek Islands Odyssey. For sun-drenched days and magic moonlit nights, there's no place more enchanting than the Greek islands. Your idyllic adventure for 2 begins on sun-kissed Santorini for 3 days of sheer bliss. On the island where blue-domed churches and snow-white houses dot the hillsides. In the rosy glow of sunset, you can sip fine wine and dine on fresh Mediterranean cuisine. A scenic morning cruise takes you to Mykonos, renowned for its beauty and the international jet-setters who love to vacation there. For 3 glorious days on Mykonos, you can explore the island, shop in trendy boutiques, and stroll the beach as the Aegean Sea tickles your toes. Finally, you are off to Athens to walk in the footsteps of Socrates and Plato as you visit the city's ancient wonders. This is the stuff of legends and dreams. Your once-in-a-lifetime 9-day Greece and Greek Islands Odyssey includes round-trip air, luxurious accommodations with breakfast every day, your fascinating tour of Athens, and your treasured time on the islands everyone dreams of visiting. Your AmFund travel specialist will book your trip, and you will have 3 full years with no blackout dates to travel. Just think, you're only one bit away from creating precious memories you'll cherish forever.
Wow, what a great trip. I was misled. I thought that we were doing a video to Grease Lightning, not to Greece. So that's all right. I was ready to sing, but I'll spare you. Good evening. What a great show we've had so far. Incredible stories of success, great auction prizes if you've been able to scroll through there and look, and of course, Lucky, who you're going to learn more about here after a while. Thank you so much to our staff and our Guardian Ball Committee for creating a fantastic event tonight. We should give them a round of applause. Thank you to all of our Guardian Ball sponsors for also making this event happen this year. Thank you to our board chairman, Captain Jeff Bacon, for sharing a decade of stories and unprecedented support for over 100 warriors who've come through the Wyakin program. Your legacy, sir, is quite remarkable. Well, welcome, honored guests and distinguished board members, volunteers, mission partners, supporters, donors, staff, and of course our warriors, our fabulous warriors who are here tonight and watching at home. I am privileged and honored to be up here tonight representing this outstanding and unbelievable foundation. Representing the men and women veteran warriors we serve, it is also an honor to take up the mantle of the Wyakin Foundation with this great staff as we transition into a second decade of service. Each year, nearly 200,000 servicemen and women go through what is called the military transition. 200,000 each year. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the employment rate for veterans who served in an active duty armed forces since September 2001 rose to 7.3% in 2020. By 2026, just a few years from now, there are projected to be 3.1 million trade jobs that will need to be filled by qualified workforce. Tonight, as we look to the future of the Wyakin Foundation, we are forging an additional path for career success and professional development with the official opening of our second Wyakin Warrior program, Wyakin Works. You can clap. Wyakin Works will be a practical alternative to support warriors who have decided that traditional college just isn't for them. Wyakin Works will provide transitioning veterans with comprehensive support in pursuit of vocational trade skills. It will be a clear path forward for veterans coming into our workforce and into the Wyakin Foundation. The uncertainty of what comes next after military service can be stressful and often leads to complex challenges for our veterans. Illuminating the path to a valuable skill set and a stable career can make all of the difference in the world. Wyakin Works will provide a shorter time to employment, as many of the skilled certification you can be earned in as little as 12 or 18 months. With employer demand for skilled workers projected to remain high until 2050, there is a great opportunity for job security, better earning potential, and long-term stability. Wyakin Works is here to help those warriors most interested in an enjoyable and rewarding vocational career with the tools and support they need to gain their certifications. The skilled labor jobs highest in demand are electricians, welders, plumbers, home inspectors, aircraft mechanics, HVAC technicians, diesel technicians, construction managers, and CDL long-haul truckers. We will place highly skilled, hardworking, and career-ready warriors into these vocational industries for quality employment and long-term career success. As with our classic Wyakin program, warriors in Wyakin Works will receive one-on-one mentoring, an educational grant, tools and supply grant, quarterly professional development seminars, resume prep, and job search support. And best of all, alumni network, as they will be supported through the 6 foundational tenets. During the initial rollout of this pilot program, Wyakin Works supported 4 warriors, 2 of which became automotive technicians, 1 a helicopter mechanic, and the last a welder. It is with great excitement that tonight we announce that we currently have 5 warriors participating and enrolled in Wyakin Works. One is working on their culinary arts, 2 as electricians, and 2 working towards their CDLs. This new program is our commitment to our mission partners across the country who, since the beginning, sustained our foundation and its mission over the past decade. Wyakin Works is an opportunity for us to repay the generosity by creating skilled veteran workers ready to join the ranks of the skilled labor industry, like welding, distribution, diesel techs, the heavy-duty aftermarket, and so much more. With this program, we plan to expand our footprint across the state of Idaho and the nation, helping to build a workforce and skilled veterans. On this night, our 10th anniversary of the Wyakin Foundation, we celebrate the great accomplishments of the past 10 years, our present success, and the ambitious goals of the future. But we need your help. With a donation tonight or a bid on one of these excellent auction items, you can be the spark that helps us spread across the country, supporting veterans everywhere. Congratulations, founders, board members, staff, volunteers, mission partners, supporters, and most of all, our warriors on 10 years of outstanding achievement. Cheers to 10 more and beyond. God bless. Good night.
I want to congratulate Corey and the entire Wyakin Foundation on their 10th anniversary. We here at SAF Holland are proud to be able to contribute to this wonderful cause. We're looking forward to Wyakin's continued growth and support of veterans benefiting from their work. Way to go, Wyakin.
All right, thanks to SAF Holland. Thank you, Corey, for all those words and sharing with us the vision of the future. So let's start with an update. So the Friend of a Warrior Fund, like I said, our goal for tonight is to raise $10,000 specifically for a Friend of a Warrior Fund. Currently, we're at $5,850 towards that endeavor. So what you need to do is get on there, give to that. What I'd like to do for a minute, so on the Friend of a Warrior Fund, let's look at a few of our initial donors to that. Our own Executive Director, Corey Rodriguez, Dwayne Hardesty, Jeff Bacon, Mally Busby, and Chelsea Miller. And there's probably more than that as it's rolling on because this is a live event, so money keeps coming in, so keep on giving. So the next thing, for those of you that purchased a party pack, one of you that purchased those found a golden ticket in it. Now, that golden ticket had a surprise package with it, and the winner of the golden ticket is Kathy Eberhardt. All right, Kathy. So, with that golden ticket, Kathy has won a 2-day trip to Sun Valley Resort, where she'll be staying at the Limelight Hotel with ski passes and a 2-day pass to the Synergy Spa and Health. So thank you, Synergy, thank you, Limelight Hotel and Sun Valley Resort, for providing Kathy with the opportunity to go spend some time in that wonderful part of Idaho. Now, the next thing I want to touch upon is the item number 11 of the auction, which is Brew Your Own Fame. So partner up with Twisted District to learn the brewing process and help craft your custom beer. You'll spend the day getting to know the science and process of brewing, and then you will get to help create a new beer with the Twisted District brewer. Once the process is complete, there will be a naming party, and you will help decide the name of the beer you helped create. Then, you and your friends can enjoy your beer on tap at the Twisted District. So if you're into brewing beer and having your name on it, get to invite all your friends and take part of that. And now we're going to do a quick prize announcement for people that have registered in the past 24 hours for this auction. So, prize number 1 is Julie Harrison. So, Julie won Terry's gift card and 2 Jay's Car Wash vouchers. Prize number 2 went to Catherine Roden, and Catherine won 2 Synergy Cycles half-day certifications and 2 Jay's Car Wash vouchers. And prize number 3 went to Jennifer Behringer, who won 2 Flix tickets and 2 Jay's Car Wash vouchers. And congratulations to those registration winners. Oh, so we're supposed to move on to the puppy, which was alluded to earlier. And there we go. There he is. That's Lucky. And there you get to see the Lucky Cam. All right, and we're back. Everybody got to see Lucky real quick. That was a quick thing. She is a very energetic dog, and she's up for auction, and I'll touch on her later and let you know more about her. But since we're back, this part of the evening, what we're going to do is we're going to meet a warrior in the program right now, and I'd like to introduce Josh Hatch.
Hello.
Now, Josh, Wyakin warrior, served in the United States Navy. Now, I will say, I have to give these people in the Navy, I think they're a little bit strange. So, Josh, tell us what you did in the Navy.
So everybody can hear this? Okay. I was on a submarine. I was a nuclear reactor operator and electronics technician. And I was stationed in Bangor, Washington. And I probably spent about 2 years of my life underwater. So like Doug was saying, that could answer some questions once you get to know me, I think.
So that alone is enough to put him in the strange category. But currently, Josh is studying electrical engineering at Boise State University. And for those of you who do not know, those who are in the engineering fields, really, they're just misnamed math majors. So that's all they do. So Josh, your background in nuclear energy, what are you looking to do with your electrical engineering?
So not only am I doing electrical engineering, but I'm also doing education. So I'll graduate with an electrical engineering degree, and I'll be certified to teach math and engineering in high school. So at this point, the honest answer is I have no idea what I'm going to do next year. But there are a few things that do interest me on the electrical engineering side, and I'm one of our issues in the world is how do we deal with the current climate crisis, right? And so one thing that I enjoy is power and power electronics, and a big way that we can reduce our own emissions is electrifying the transportation industry, and we can only do that with power electronics. So that's something that I've been interested in. And, yeah.
Big future in that. Touches all parts of life.
Right.
And now, one thing we also talk about here at Wyakin is it's not just the education and future career goals, it's also engagement, it's also being connected with the community. And I know me and Josh spent plenty of time talking about it, but I'd like to him talk about it. It seems like a real passion in your life. Josh also coaches high school football.
So I want to preface this that I have a daughter and a wife, and they're my favorite things in the entire world. My favorite thing that I've ever done is coach high school football. I coach freshman defensive backs at Meridian High School, and I've done that. This is my third year doing it, and just the way that I get to see a group of 8th graders, I meet them when they're still 8th graders, come together from different middle schools across the West Ada School District, and then be able to watch them and help guide them to become one solid unit throughout the season is just it's something that you can't really replicate other than in sports. And my favorite sport is football, and I love coaching defensive backs. And Honestly, when I sit back and I think about where's my future, that's where my future is, coaching football. So some day I might be an electrical engineer, but I know that I'm going to be a football coach for the rest of my life. Yeah. Do you want me to keep talking? I can talk about football all day.
So, with all that going on, I mean, there's an amazing amount of stuff that comes along with being a veteran and transitioning into a new career. I mean, let's look at that for a second. For all those who, put it in a little concept, here we got Josh, veteran of the United States Navy, full-time student in a very demanding major, engineering and education. Wonderful wife, brand new daughter who just started walking. Yes?
Not quite. I think any day now she's going to take her first step, I think.
And then you'll never catch her.
Right, exactly.
After that.
That's what everybody says.
Gives back to the community by coaching young sportsmen in football. So all of those balanced together is the things we face that is above and beyond what your traditional educational students looking at, where they might go to school, they live in the dorms, they extracurricular stuff. And you know, those are the challenges. I mean, it's a full schedule.
Yes, yes. I have a full schedule, absolutely. Here's my daughter if you want to. Hey, Mia. Talking to Mike. Yeah. Anybody got any questions, I guess?
So as you can see, I mean, it's a lot going on for all veterans who are looking at recreating themselves, but it's that passion and the purpose is what drives people forward and want to improve their lives. And being part of this organization, we want to be part of that with them.
So George might ask me this later, but I'm going to answer it right now. So I don't think that I would be able to do all of the things that I'm doing right now, going to school full time, having a wife and a daughter, and also coaching football and being able to manage all of those things if I had just gotten out of the Navy and then tried to do that on my own. The Wyakin Foundation has played a crucial role in, hold on, I'm trying to make sure my daughter doesn't jump off you guys have played a crucial role in, first of all, keeping my wife and I together, because there was a possibility that we were going to be separated based on our different school paths. And Wyakin went above and beyond to ensure that we got to stay together. And there was just, there's no way that I could honestly repay everything that you guys have done for me.
Thanks, Josh. And on top of all that, with all that going on, we also talked him into traveling with us to Texas this past summer to go to an HGAW, the Heavy Duty Aftermarket Truck Pride Week, and represent Wyakin there in the public. And he did an outstanding job, got to meet a bunch of people, and now it's just moving forward from there.
And it was really cool to see in the HGA truck parts. First of all, when you guys asked me to go, I was like, heavy duty aftermarket truck parts? Like, what? But being able to see the people behind the, to me, unfathomable amount of money that comes in to help us was amazing to be able to meet and shake hands with the people that are keeping this program afloat and allowing us to do all the things that we are able to do. It was awesome.
All right. Josh, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
I love having you in the program.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll give it a hug. Woo!
Cool.
And I'm back, and Mike's not, so come on up. He got hung up. He gets lost easy. He was Air Force. They can't read compasses. And here we have on screen Lucky. So Lucky is Item number 13 on the bid roster. Now, Lucky is a 6-month-old border collie. She was rescued with her litter from a bad living situation by Positive Pets. She's been living at Positive Pets and looking for her forever home. Comes with her own training package thanks to Positive Pets. And let me tell you, she's been the talk of the organization, and everybody that has met her wants to take her home. So, to do that, get on the auction, bid the winning bid, and you get that sweet little girl to take home to you. And we're back. All right. So for our second warrior chat, I want to introduce Mike Leone. And this is actually an interesting story with Mike. Now, before we get into the storytelling, so Mike is one of our more seasoned veterans. How long did you serve in the Air Force, Mike?
24 years.
24 years, retired. And tell us about your service, where you were at.
Joined in 91. Joined the security forces. And I was in active duty first. I was at Canadian Air Base and then Fairchild Air Force Base. And then moved to Idaho. And in Idaho, joined the 124th Air National Guard. And I got a full-time job there. So I stayed there for 19 years, full-time the whole time.
That's a long time to count rivets on planes.
Yes, well.
So Mike he actually earned a degree while in service, and now your current education plan?
Now I'm one class away from my master's in security management.
All right. That's awesome. So now we're gonna tell a story. So it's kind of interesting, and I brought Mike up here to chat because it's kind of a big workaround. Because some people don't know, but me and Mike actually grew up together back in Youngstown, Ohio, and it was because of us standing in a courtroom together is why he had to join the Air Force, and I was in the Army. So
No man left behind, right?
yeah, no man left behind.
Uh-huh.
And he's actually the one that I blame for coming out here to Idaho, where I've been, since '97.
I'll take that hit.
Okay. So, Mike, what are you looking to do with your master's degree once you're complete?
I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. But I've got a couple ideas. All the experience first and then go to college is an unusual thing for anybody to do. I'm already 50 years old, and now I'm going to try and get back into the workforce after retiring. So probably get into some type of consulting or take an avenue on one of the various types of security management. There's different branches. There's crime prevention through environmental design. There's cybersecurity. There's a lot of people know about PMCs or PCCs, private military contracts, things like that. All the way down to resource protection for a Fortune 500 company. So there's very many diverse directions that I could take with it. But because after 24 years in the military doing that very job, and then now having a management level type certification degree, having a degree, I think I'm going to try and do something either consulting or attempt to maybe go back to the college that I'm getting my degree through to see about becoming a professor and giving back to the ones coming up behind me.
Very nice.
No, I'm not saying I'm old and ready to put out the pasture, but it's a young man's game. It truly is.
I agree. It is a young man's game.
You're still older than me.
Yes, I am still older than you. And it was kind of nice doing these warrior chats tonight because you got to meet a couple of the warriors in our program, and it was a good. It shows you the breadth of the program, by meeting Josh, out of the Navy, young guy, starting over after service. Mike, not so young guy, getting out of the service. And yes, I am older than him by like 4 months. And that's the part of the program that a lot of people don't take into consideration as we talk about veterans transitioning into new careers. It's not just the young guys and young girls getting out of the service, trying to reestablish them or starting to establish themselves as new adults, because you're really a kid when you're in the service. I was a kid, he was a kid. We grew up in that culture. But it's also the ones that have done their 20 years. They've stuck with it for an entire career, and now they get out of service and they find they're still young enough to go into a new career.
Right.
Because we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. Wyakin's done a lot for me. It's given me a direction. Everybody in the military knows that they have something that they have to follow, and it's usually helpful when somebody can guide you down paths. Wyakin does exactly that for veterans of any type, size, shape. Yeah, I'm seasoned. Yeah, I'm at the end of it, but I would like to come back once I'm done with all this. I want to come back to the Wyakin to be able to help out and be supportive still and continue with it, because it's a great program and it needs to be nationwide at the minimum.
Now, because of Mike's relationship, we grew up together. We, shared our adult lives together. And the nice thing about being in my position is, I can start coercing them now into helping us out in the future. Because, Mike has plans of moving to San Antonio, down in Texas. So he's going to be my direct link to touch veterans down in the San Antonio area. Because, it's all about, do me a favor, I do you a favor.
Scratching back's
Yeah.
what it's about. If I can open up a branch office down there and start this nationwide idea. And considering they call San Antonio military town, it's written there on the wall of the airport. I couldn't imagine a better place to start doing getting Wyakin going bigger and better.
And that's where we really start about talking connection. It's the connection and networking we make as all the veterans within the program get to know each other and we move forward in our future careers. Brandon, in the heavy-duty trucking industry, Mike going into his future unknown career down in San Antonio, and all the veterans getting out. So now, with the over 50-plus alumni of the program, we're actually now enlisting past warriors coming back into the program to act as mentors for the new warriors coming into the program. So it really does feed upon itself. So Mike, thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for being in the Wyakin Warrior Foundation.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah. Now you get to stand up here with us.
Oh, okay. Short people front. Short people
Yep.
Come on. Well, thank you for everybody who has been here tonight and participated, and for this amazing staff that we have and the stories that we heard. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for the Guardian Ball. A special thanks to our Guardian Ball committee, our board, Auction Frogs, Brad and Alice from Ellsberg Studios, who have done a phenomenal job tonight. So we thank you. Please remember that bidding is going to stay open until October 10th. Right now, we're at 53,000. Our goal is 100,000. We need to make that happen, folks. This program is so important. You heard the stories, you saw the videos. We have a very ambitious goals to take this nationally. Sounds like San Antonio might be next. So look out. Anyway, from all of us here at Wyakin, we cannot thank you enough. Lucky needs a good home, so Chelsea doesn't have to take her. We thank you very much. Thank you for supporting the Wyakin Foundation. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, staff. Great job. Thank you, Warriors.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, thank you.
Hey, I'm adaptable.
No, and that was something.